Is cryptocurrency a scam? How does it work? I would ask you to address the Sharia part of it and then transfer the control to Brother Jubran for the technical part of it.
Jazakumullah khairan. So, good. Thank you for this wonderful question and very important question. Is crypto a scam or not? You know, there is a very famous proverb in Arabic, "An-nasu a'da'un lima jahilu," so that the people are enemy to what they don't know. This is very true when it comes to the financial literacy. The problem is that the level of financial literacy is very low. Because of this, lot of ambiguity is there. So cryptocurrencies, in their basic nature, they are not the scams. But the problem is that the ill-intentioned people, yeah, they took the misadvantage or the advantage or disadvantage of this situation. And many people launched the things which are not the currency, cryptocurrency as the cryptocurrency, and they were the scam set in itself. So if somebody has doing crime, being a Muslim, we can't say that Islamic iyadam billah promotes the crime. No, not at all. Similar to the concept of cryptocurrency is not a scam. It is the concept wise and the principle wise. It's a very sound concept, and it is to remove the intermediators from in between and make the transaction easy, transparent, secure, immutable, and traceable, accountable. All these features are there. The problem is the misuse of it is creating a kind of buzz that it's a scam. So to be brief and to be precise, cryptocurrencies in itself are not a scam, but the misuse had happened and it's still being done. Hope I answered the question. Thank you very much.
Brother Jubran, please add to that from the technical perspective.
Yes, sure. So in regards with the technical aspect of cryptocurrencies, I particularly am of an opinion that cryptocurrency is not a scam, and more likely it's one of the most advantageous tool and the future of Islamic finance. So it's a very bold contrast which I'm giving, because usually everyone thinks that cryptocurrency is a scam. How can you talk about this? I mean, even the feedback which we get that, how dare you say cryptocurrency is halal? So the thought process is such that, because people do not understand the difference between cryptocurrency and a crypto token. Now, that is the most important factor which we need to understand. Cryptocurrency, in a simple example, is like going and purchasing a land, doing the entire architectural design, building the entire building on your own, and then renting out your space and generating revenue. Now, the amount of infrastructure, the amount of investment, the amount of work, the amount of technology that goes into cryptocurrency is significantly huge. Bitcoin, Ethereum are cryptocurrencies. But scams happen through crypto tokens, because what happens in crypto tokens is the same building which you have constructed and rented, the guy comes and says, I will take only 100 square meter of your office space in your building. He conducts the entire business, and overnight he closes the shop and goes off. So crypto tokens are basically something which uses the existing cryptocurrency infrastructure, misuse it, and then they move out of it. If you're able to read the digital ledgers of the cryptocurrencies, you will understand what is a scam, what is not a scam, and accordingly you will be able to take your decisions and make your decisions calculatively. Inshallah, I hope I've answered the question.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair. A request to the panelists as a reminder to keep the answers as short as possible so that we take more and more questions, inshallah. So, as a follow-up of this, Brother Jubran, question for you. What is Islamic Finance 2.0? What do you mean by Islamic Finance 2.0?
So what I mean by particularly Islamic Finance 2.0, it's predominantly to gauge and anticipate the future of Islamic finance, which as I said in the previous session, that it is going to be fintech predominantly. When I say Islamic Finance 2.0, I'm talking about a hybrid neo-Islamic banking platform, which allows you to tokenize any form of physical assets. That is, imagine if you have a real estate or if you have any form of physical tangible asset, you can upload it in this fintech app. You can tokenize it into multiple tokens, into fractions, and you can dilute and sell it immediately and encash it in an ATM in a matter of couple of days, or matter of the same day, or couple of hours as well. So you're talking about transactions to become easy. You're talking about Islamic finance to be holistic in nature. You're talking about being able to have various products and prototypes under the field of Islamic finance, not like before, where people used to invest either into stocks, or they used to invest into gold, silver, or into real estate. And even in stocks, they used used to be a lot of difference of opinion. There used to be a lot of hesitations, and now is when there's been tremendous clarity in the last 10 years or 15 years on how to invest in stock market. So what I mean by Islamic Finance 2.0, I'm talking about a platform which allows you to buy and swap between gold, silver, commodity, bonds, cryptocurrencies, real estate, any form of tangible assets or investable assets in a fractional value. You don't necessarily have to be very rich to be able to invest in big assets. You can invest it for a fraction of a cost also, and you'll be able to have global access to all the halal portfolios and platforms under portfolios and products under one platform.
Shukran. Dr. Munir, what is the Islamic definition of currency and wealth? And does cryptocurrency fall into that category?
Dr. Mike.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, okay. So the definition of mal in Islam is anything that can be acquired and possessed. And from the Islamic perspective, the ulama, they have put 5 conditions for something to be regarded as a mal. It should be it should be naturally desired. It should be able to be possessed, the ability to be stored, and also it should have like beneficial that is Sharia compliant. Like for example, the Sharia should consider that it has benefits, and the ownership of the thing itself, the mal, should if someone is going, like for example, to purchase it or to lease it, there should be a transfer of ownership. So anything that fulfill those 5 conditions from the Sharia perspective, it counts as mal. Yes, can you please repeat the second question?
Does cryptocurrency fit that definition? That's the second part of the question.
Yeah, okay. So for cryptocurrencies, if we look at the opinions of ulama, we find that there's a divergence. Some ulama are in favor of the cryptocurrency is mal because it fulfills these conditions, and some are not in favor. They say that the cryptocurrency is not mal because mainly it is not backed by, or it is not issued by the government, the government. So there are some issues, but if we look from the Sharia perspective of what is considered mal and what are the conditions in mal, I can say like 90% cryptocurrencies fulfill the conditions of mal and they are considered mal, and the use of cryptocurrencies on blockchain, it serves as mal on the decentralized platform.
Okay. Right. Dr. Musleh, now we will come to the interesting part of the question. So if we consider cryptocurrency as a mal or wealth, is there zakah on cryptocurrency?
Jazakallah khair. Question related to zakah is have some detail in it. For example, that the crypto tokens and cryptocurrency are not one and the same, as Mr. Gibran has already clarified it. Plus, the cryptocurrency and crypto tokens are viewed in different forms and different varieties when it comes to the zakah. For example, those cryptocurrencies which are in presence of in types of coins or exchange tokens or payment tokens, they are subject to zakah regardless of it is owned for short term or long term, for day-to-day trading or for capital gain. And before going forward, let me tell you that any cryptocurrency or crypto token, keep the cryptocurrency aside, crypto tokens, the ruling for zakah follows that whether it is owned with an intention of trading or intention of capital gain. The ruling will have on 2 levels. For the first thing, if it is owned for trading or day-to-day trading and as a mode of trading and gaining on the price appreciation or something like that, then zakah is applicable, regardless it is currency or token. But when it is token and not the currency, such as the security tokens, then for short term, as I told you, there is a zakah. However, because it's a security token, that means it is representing equity of something, whether it may be the platform or the company. It has to follow the balance sheet. Balance sheet of the company or the platform which it is representing decides whether it is subject to zakah or not. Utility tokens, for the long term, there is no zakah on it because it's a utility. Utility means, for example, the car wash or a barter token for purchasing something or something like that. So there is no zakah for the long term. For if it is owned for the trading purposes, then there is zakah on it. Asset-backed tokens, then if for trading there is a zakah, however type of asset will decide, underlying asset. If it is representing gold and silver, of course there is zakah on it, or any other zakat subject to zakah asset, zakat is there. But for example, if it is not representing a subject to zakah, for example, it's representing a building, then there is no zakah for the long term. Governance token follows the same ruling, that there is no zakah if it is for the long term, whereas for trading there is zakah. And NFTs, same thing, and so forth and so on. So the ruling has to be considered that what type of crypto token you are talking. Thank you very much.
Shukran, Jazakumullah khair. Sheikh Nafeel Mahboob, this question is directed to you. How can blockchain technology be used to create financial products that are Sharia compliant and avoid issues like gharar and riba within them?
Can you repeat, please?
How can blockchain technology be used to create financial products which are Sharia compliant while avoiding issues like gharar and riba within them?
As per our experience, for investing or analyzing the blockchain, the platforms, we need to go through the white paper of the issuer, and so all the details we need to check whether what is their activity and where they're investing, how they maintain the liquidity, so that then only we can decide whether are there any gharar involved or riba involved, or who is the certifying them, who is the Sharia advisors. So without knowing this, it's difficult because there are 1,000 plus, I think, the cryptocurrencies are there, blockchain, those the currencies, cryptocurrencies. So this is my humble, answer. So my colleagues or the expert, Dr. Gibran, can elaborate.
Yeah, there are two parts of the question I would like to address it. One to Brother Jubran and also one to Sheikh Muslim to add to that. Brother Jubran, what is the golden rule or the blueprint for creating a Sharia compliant product using blockchain as a technology?
So the most easiest aspect about blockchain or the decentralized nature of blockchain technology is the fact that it runs on smart contracts. When you say smart contracts, they are encoded and they run automatically on a certain format which you have encoded in the system. So when you are establishing a blockchain network, if you are able to code it in the most Sharia compliant manner, where you're able to audit all the Sharia compliant rulings under it, automatically the blockchain becomes Sharia compliant in nature and starts allocating Sharia compliant products automatically. For example, if today I have established that in our native blockchain, that is for dinar token, at a certain value of transaction, 2.5% should go as zakat in the smart contract, automatically it will happen for hundreds of years. So the idea of a smart contract is it's self-sustaining. It runs on a particular code, which has to be checked whether it's Sharia compliant or not. And this is absolutely, in my understanding, with the permission of Shayukh, possible to do mudaraba, joint ventures, and various other aspects, and gives a very clean clarity on Gharar and Riba. Handing over to Sheikh Muslim.
Yes, Musliuddin, along with the completing this question, also I would like to add one sub question because it is also linked. How do you validate or prove the Sharia compliance of such products when there is no regulator available in such contracts or such transactions?
Very interesting questions. First, to add on to the first question, that how to make it riba and gharar free. You know, the automation through the blockchain and the code is the very important aspect in it. In addition to it, I would like to draw your attention to the features of immutability and the transparency. These two features are helping us to inbuild the rule of avoiding gharar and avoiding riba, and moreover, put the human in the loop. Once I'm saying that put the human in the loop, I mean that while developing this code or the chain, it should be vetted by the Sharia supervisory body or the Sharia expert. And similarly, there should be the periodic audit for the transactions being done and the ownership being held by whom. This is how it can be avoided, the riba and gharar, these things. And in addition to that, the second question, that when there is no regulatory people are there, then what's the actual question? Sorry, missing the point.
How do we ensure the Sharia compliance of a contract or a transaction when there is there is no regulator in between?
Yeah, so you see, the regulation part, regulator part is to discipline the market as well as to product. So for disciplining the product or fine tuning the product, it could be inbuilt. While developing the code, a checklist or the layers could be created that if so and so conditions are met, then only it shall be moved to the second level and the third level. By that, the product fine tuning is done. However, for the macro market, regulator is required. We can't say that it will work without a regulator. Thank you.
Jazakumullah khair. The next question to Brother Gibran. Basically, this question has two parts to it to answer this question. Is spot trading halal? Because some people use spot trading with some AI bot, and the company gives some rewards in return. So what I would request you to do is to explain the concept of spot trading to the panel, like they say, like al-hukmu ala shay'in an tasawwurihi. So you explain what the spot trading is in the language, and then I would request for a ruling from the panelists.
Okay, so this is a very interesting question, also a tricky one, because spot trading basically comes to trading in the market live, basically where you get the delivery of the product immediately. So trading is of various types. You have futures, you have options, you have leverage trading, you have derivative contracts, you have various other aspects of it. In spot trading, what happens? It happens on the spot where the transaction gives you immediate delivery of product. Usually, when it comes to even stock markets as well as the crypto markets by default are spot trading in nature, because you do not have futures and options in crypto. Only now is when some companies or some exchanges have launched it. So by default, crypto is spot trading in nature, number one. Number two, the delivery in crypto markets are immediate. For example, if you have 100 rupees, you get the delivery for 100 rupees immediately in your account. So it's not like stock market where the settlement is t plus 1 or t plus 2. That is, today is the trading day, plus 1 or plus 2. It happens immediately. So in my understanding, to give you a crisp nutshell, spot trading is something which happens immediately when you give and take, and the delivery of the product is given. And that should be hopefully Sharia compliant, and inshallah the Mashayikh can add more to it. And is there anything I have to add to the question other than that?
That's it. I would like the Sharia advisory board to come in and take forward the question, the second part of it.
So can you give the second part? Is it halal or
Yeah,
permissible
yeah,
or not?
exactly. The Islamic ruling with
If it
regards
is
to
for
spot
the
trading.
spot delivery, that's the best form of the buyer or the trade. If the delivery is confirmed that it is spot, then I think there will not be any doubt that except the good which is being traded is impermissible. If it is impermissible, it is impermissible, or else it's permissible.
Okay. Sheikh Nafil and Sheikh Munir, for both of you, this question. How are Muslim countries approaching cryptos, as a mode of transaction or an acceptable means of transaction? What is the stance that the Muslim countries have taken till date with regards to cryptocurrencies in general?
Sheikh Munir, taking our, I start, inshallah. Muslim countries like who are pioneering in Islamic finance sector, like Malaysia and UAE. I think they have regulations in place where the Sharia Act is targeting to be established or registered there. But still, many countries, they have, they are looking at as a skepticism. Is it? So, Brother Jubran, I think he is the right person who has studied the markets. For us, we can just look at the Sharia parts only, regulation-wise and the jurisdiction-wise. So you must have studied well.
Yeah, Brother
That is
Jubran,
my,
please add some light to that.
yeah. Or Sheikh Muslim, because he is this area of research.
Sorry.
Yes, sure. So in regards with the acceptance of cryptocurrencies in the Middle Eastern region, already Dubai and Saudi Arabia and the Bahrain have taken significant leaps, and Qatar is also starting to move towards it. And all of us are predominantly now in Qatar only, coincidentally, which we're taking this question from. So the most interesting aspect of it is that countries have started accepting it, adapting it. Predominant banks in the world, almost 70% of the major banks in the world have started creating digital banks to accept cryptocurrencies. You have banks like Stripe, you have banks like Revolt, you have banks like various other neo banks which started accepting globally. So it is a matter of time where it has started to integrate into the Middle Eastern market. So you cannot say the countries are accepting it predominantly. Transactions are happening, tradings are happening, investments are happening. Visa and MasterCard has allowed you to encash cryptocurrencies through ATM. So that is happening to different countries. So considering that countries have already started transitioning towards cryptocurrencies, it's a matter of time when almost everything will become more digital in nature.
You see,
Yes, Sheikh Muslim.
from the sorry to directly
Yeah,
come
please,
to the
please.
point.
Yeah, please.
Shall I?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that from the regulatory perspective, it takes time to introduce a big change. That's why there is a kind of reluctancy in the majority of the Muslim countries. Anyhow, those countries which are open to change, such as Dubai and very dynamic, they are accepting and they are giving the very free hand in it. While those who are kind of conservative type of approach like Qatar, they are thinking of providing a sandbox. They have already announced it, but except in the free zone, we can't see that there is any circulation of the cryptocurrencies. So they are accepting it, but the pace is slow.
Okay, طيب جزاك الله خير. Sheikh Muslim, one sensitive question. Most of the major Sharia scholars, I'm just reading out the question of the questioner so that so I'm not rewording it. Most of the major Sharia scholars like Mufti Taqi Usmani, etc., have said cryptocurrencies are not halal. Please comment.
Jazakallah khair. Very interesting question and very good question. I appreciate this. I was thinking that somebody should ask this. The reason is that yes, this is the fact that many of the major or the well-known scholars are ruling that it's not halal or reluctant in passing the rule. The reason is that for many of them, the picture is not clear. And some of them are those who are passing the rule on the present situation of the market. As I told you, many scams had happened. So everything needs some time to be digested and to become norm of the society. And the mix of the globalization, a confusion is created. Some countries are advanced. There the things become very clear to them and they are okay with it. And they set the rules for it. For example, in UK, they have the special regulations for taking a control on all these things. Whereas in some other jurisdictions, you can't find that. So the people over there, especially the scholars from those countries like Mufti Faraz Adam, and there are some other from Dubai, there is Farooq Ahmad, and many Farooq Habib, and many other names are there. Those who understood the thing well, they are setting the rules and allowing it. While the maturity is not attained, there the scholars are reluctant and passing the rule. So in brief, I can say that it is related to the present scenario, plus the regional maturity has a major role in passing the rule, whether it is haram or halal. Allah knows the best.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, adding to that question, has Zaria X consulted any senior expert in this matter and consulted them in this aspect?
I'm happy to give out this information or put this information forward to all of you that with the wise decision of the management in Zaria, we were able to see Dr. Saad Al-Qatlan, Hafizahullah, in Saudi Arabia. He was very much convinced with the idea, and we have some other scholars I couldn't name for some reasons because I didn't take the permission of them. Didn't take the permission of them. That's why I can't name them. So besides Dr. Saad Al-Qatlan, some senior scholars looked into it and appreciated it and approved the structure.
Can you briefly introduce Dr. Saad Al-Khaslan to the audience, just for them to understand whom we are talking about?
Yes, Dr. Saad Al-Khaslan is one of the members of Hayat Kibar Ulama, the senior board of ulamas. He had been a member, and he is the professor of fiqh in Jamiat al-Imam, Muhammad bin Saud al-Islamiyah. And he has a lot of writings on, he authored a lot of books related to the financial matters and other than the financial matters also. And he is an online mufti in the state of, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So he is a well-known personality to the Arab scholars and very well established scholar.
Okay. Does he have any practical experience of working with banks?
Of course, he has not only the banks, he was on the board of Rajahi for a long time. And other than Rajahi, also he is in many other banks. If I am not wrong, he is on the bank of Bilad, Bank al Bilad, and many other, very prominent scholar. Yeah.
Okay. We have a couple of brothers here who have raised their hands. I will permit them one by one. Shifa and Muhammad, yes, please go ahead and ask your question, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes.
Hold on a second, let me just put my mic on.
How does the concept of NFT, which involve buying, selling, and trading unique digital assets, align with the Islamic principles, especially considering the issues of ownership, value, and potential speculations? I have two questions, but I ask you one. If you want, I can ask you.
We'll answer this one. We'll answer this one, and then probably there's one more
appreciate.
brother in line. We'll give him a chance and then come back to you, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay, Sheikh Muslim, you want to take that? How does the concept of NFT align with Islamic?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Can you just give
How does the concept of NFTs align with the Sharia principles in terms of ownership and value?
NFTs in terms of ownership and value. NFTs is the representation, digital representation of an asset, or but the digital asset in itself. It can be the representation, but other than representation, yes, it is an asset in itself. And the NFTs are created in different way. For example, by sometime they just turn the NFT, the authorship rights and the what do you say, that hukuk mulkiya and all these things, ownership rights, they change it into, turn it into the NFT. So everything has to be looked into its perspective and into its in its context. So it is, NFTs are the part of metaverse. So if it is an asset over there, and so if we are sure that metaverse has its own value, then an ownership of NFT is not a problem in it. Allahu Ta'ala.
So in this term, the metaverse, we are buying the property, virtual property, in a digital version, given that these transactions involve in NFTs assets. So it's a halal, right?
Yes, brother Gibran, please.
Yeah, can I just add on to that before Sheikh takes over? So there are
Yeah.
two versions to NFTs. So there is an ambiguous place of NFTs where people are like putting bored apes and they're putting various monkeys and chimpanzees and all that and selling it for an absurd price. But that is something which I understand is your concern. But predominantly, let's understand the concept of NFT. And in blockchain, you do not have images. Blockchain is only smart contracts. So this concept of NFTs or non-fungible tokens came to be able to bring visualization or virtual assets into blockchain technology. So NFTs predominantly in the future will be digital contracts like trademarks, like ownership of assets, physical tokenization of real-time assets, and various other factors to it. Considering the fact that metaverse, anything in metaverse predominantly is in the NFT format, unless and until it has a real utility or use case to it, the scholars have a difference of opinion. For example, imagine if I'm making an NFT of the staff of Musa alayhi salam, and the idea is that we make 10 NFTs out of it, and people who own it, the money of it goes to charity or sadaqatul jariyah, or the person who gets to own the NFT goes to see the staff of Musa alayhi salam and go and touch it once in a while. Similarly, you'll be able to bring digital traffic to the museums in the Islamic history and artifacts as well. So if you're using it for the right intention and right cause, I feel there is no difference of opinion. But inshallah, if you're looking at it in terms of ambiguity, that is just selling digital assets and playing around with the price, probably I think Sheikh can answer that question better.
Okay, thank you for the good explanation. That's the reality. In every arena, there are the features which make a thing permissible and impermissible. So NFTs is, as I told you, it's a representation of something. So if it is representing a halal and permissible thing, and the person is confident that he understands the technology and the details of it, then there is no problem. But if the person is not aware of what the technology is in it itself, then it's a mistake of getting involved into it. Based on the mistake of person, I can't say something in something impermissible. For example, there are medicine, plenty of medicine is available. If I use some medicine which is not meant for me and I face some allergy or some issues, based on my problem, I can't say that the medicine is impermissible or it shall not be available in the market. Same is the case of NFT. Allah knows the best.
Jazakumullah khairan. We'll allow MS Sheikh now to ask his question. Brother MS Sheikh, you have raised your hand. Is that for a question? Okay, while he gets back, we will go to one of the other questions that have been asked in the chat. This is a trademark CEO question. Mr. Jubran, get ready for this question. As we know, FTX went belly up and declared bankruptcy. What checks and balances do you have in place to make sure that the same thing does not happen?
Okay, very interesting and a very elaborate answer to this question would be required. First and foremost, FTX, what it did was it was predominantly playing around with its native crypto token. And also it was taking the funds of the people and it was diversifying and investing into its own native companies. And in the back end, the swindling was happening. Now, to keep a check on this, the biggest check which we kept is we launched Zaria X on the back of a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, so that anything and everything in the asset holding or transactions of Zaria X visible to everyone in our community. So from the amount of transactions which are happening to the amount of assets which we are holding to the amount of silver which we are backing our dinars with, anything and everything is transparent in the DAO, allowing everyone to have accessibility to see our DAO. And without doubt, anyone who's owning our dinar token is also partially having the ownership of a DAO. And predominantly, they also have, depending upon the size they own of dinar, they have voting rights in the company as well. So what we have done to keep check and balances is to be try to keep it completely transparent, and we try to make it completely asset backed and asset centric by pegging it against real time assets, and to be able to keep it as a transparent concept in our digital ledger. I hope I was able to summarize that. And to go in terms of FTX in detail, that will be a long story, but I think we are short of time.
All right. All right. Sheikh Musliuddin, a question that is closely linked to that. How does Zaria X address the concerns of fraud and money laundering that are normally lingering about these cryptocurrencies and transactions? What steps do we have in place to address money laundering and financial fraud?
Yeah, to put a check on the fraud and money laundering, first of all, we had a good team of with an in-depth experience and genuine people, and the regulatory background people are involved in it in the management. That's the first thing from the man side, and from the product as perspective, the portfolio is diversified, well diversified. That is, the majority of the investment will be in the real asset or real thing, which will keep the value of the investment and doesn't allow to reach it to the zero at any point of time. Plus, the partial part of the investment is left to the supply and demand, which will help in increasing the value of investment. It will boost the value of investment. So at any time, if the market is not attractive, the investor can come back to the issuer. In many cryptocurrencies, issuer is unknown, but in case of Zaria X DNZ, the issuer is known, very well known. Zaria X is itself the issuer, so they can come back to the issuer and redeem their investment or redeem their tokens. So this is how we are trying to put a check on fraud and misuse of the tokens.
Yes, Brother Jubran.
I just like to add something more to that. Predominantly, when it comes to anti-money laundering, many people have this doubts that since cryptocurrencies can be transacted from one country to another and it can be manipulated, there is something called blockchain analytics. So now, what happens in blockchain analytics is, because everything in blockchain is decentralized and transparent in nature, you can actually see the data. The only problem is people don't know how to see that data and read that data. So what happens in blockchain analytics? You keep a running node which audits blocks and gives you the reverse engineering of from where the money came and where the money went. And this is exactly how blockchain audits are supposed to be done in exchanges. And the tracing of the line of funds, that is the source of funds, is done. And in case it is not ethical and it is completely, money laundering, it will be flagged by the blockchain, that is the ledger, and it will be completely blocked and taken out of the system.
Okay. Brother Shifan Mohammed, please go ahead with your second question.
Okay, so it's related to my first question. Is it permissible in Islam to buy, sell, rent digital land in metaverse, especially in metaverse, using
Okay.
kind of the platforms like Roblox, Decentraland, and the Sandbox, and Upland, all those. So some of the platforms are not halal, but still we are buying and selling digital land, non using involved in non-physical assets.
Okay. Sheikh Muslihuddin, what is the Islamic ruling on purchasing and transacting with the digital land in metaverse, where there is no tangible asset or property that we are buying, but we're still benefiting from the sales and the transactions?
That's a good question. Actually, if it is the virtual land, the scholars are of different opinion in this regard, and still it is to be consensus has to reach. No consensus on this issue. Anyway, if it is representing a real land, real asset, then there is a consensus that it is okay to own that type of land or part of it in the metaverse form or the NFT form.
Okay, so we will come to the last and the final part of the panel discussion. I would request all the panelists, Sheikh Munir, Sheikh Nafeel, Sheikh Muslihuddin, and Sheikh Gibran, to have one final comment before we go on to the next part, which is the roadmap and the next steps for Zaria X. Sheikh Munir, Islamic fintech. What do you see as the vision of the future for Islamic fintech? In two sentences, where do you see Islamic fintech going?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I can summarize my idea based on the discussion that we have had. There is a shift of perspective from the traditional way of transaction and financing towards the blockchain, which we can easily see on the growth of the online assets, for example. So it shows that the Islamic finance has a good potential to penetrate the digital world, and for Muslim investors to like make good investments in the digital assets. Yeah.
Shukran. Sheikh Nafeel, an advice to the people who are still skeptical and saying like, no, I'm sorry, I don't trust this, I want to stay away from all of this. What would be your advice of to those people in a couple of lines?
Yeah, as I spoke earlier, so due to the confusion between halal and haram, we avoided many stuffs at the beginning, but later on we feel that we lost. So technology usually takes time to mature. So it is always better to take the early movers advantage.
Okay, Jazakumullah khair. Sheikh Musleh, what would be your advice for the people who do not understand technology nor finance, but they solely rely on the ulama for the fatwas?
It's a very tricky question, but and at the same time, it's a challenging question to answer because you know, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. So the ulama who are specialized in the field shall be concerned, so should be consulted, not any ulama. For example, if somebody has the takhassus in tahara and the umur al-ibadah, shall not be tested on the grounds of his knowledge in the muamalat, and vice versa. So now this is an emerging field. So the person who is good in the Sharia as well as the finance shall be at the point of question from among the scholars. Scholars also have specializations and field of specializations that should be respected and that shall be dealt with. Else, it is the mistake of Mustafti, the questioner, and the person who is inquiring, not the mistake, and the bigger mistake of the person who is responding to him. Allahu Ta'ala alam.
Jazakumullah khair. Brother Gibran, playing devil's advocate, what would be your biggest warning to people about cryptocurrencies?
The biggest warning to people about cryptocurrencies would be don't go into the hype of it. Don't just blindly follow the herd. Try to understand what it does. I would just try to relate this situation to the dot-com bubble. So a lot of companies came during dot-com bubble. They went up through the roof and suddenly everything crashed. But the companies which had real utility made a killing. And those people who invest in those companies today were Warren Buffett and many other people. So please understand the concept. Please understand the trend. Please understand the technology. And inshallah, you will be able to make the best out of this trend and create a significant impact in the years to come.
Shukran. I thank all the panelists for the participation in the panel discussion. For the conclusion part, I hand over the controls to Brother Gibran Siddiq to actually enlighten the audience on how they can be a part of this. What are the options available for them? How can they contribute? What is the REAX offering? What is the REAX roadmap for the future? What is it that takes for the REAX to offer a financially sound and Sharia compliant solution to the existing challenges that we have discussed in the past couple of hours. I hand over the control to Mr. Gibran to take the audience forward on this and also to take them through the conclusion of this discussion. It is a 10 to 15 minutes session. I request the audience to look at it with care because this is the crux of it. This is basically the summary. We have only been discussing the situation and the challenges. We do not want to leave you with challenges and problems. We want to leave you with solutions. So this is the part where the solution is being discussed. I request you all to tune in and stay focused on this part. Jazakumullah khairan.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you so much, Umar Bhai. You've been patient and so many questions bombarded from all platforms. We understand that our session is live not only in Zoom, but it's in live in LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, name it. And Alhamdulillah, we've been getting questions from all over the place. Thank you so much for your patience and for your moderation. To quickly summarize, we are quite ahead of our scheduled time, but to quickly summarize Zaria X, how do we look forward to create an impact in the field of Islamic fintech? And how
Brother
do we
Gibran,
want to create?
sorry to interrupt. Can you just present it so that it is on full screen? Can you click the
Oh,
present?
Is it's not in full
Can you
screen?
share the
Sorry.
can you share the presentation? Yeah,
Yeah, 1 second. You cannot see the presentation?
it is been
Okay.
visible on the browser, not in the
Oh, okay, got
presentation
it.
mode.
Okay, got it. Just give me a second. Yes. So now
Yes.
can you see? Yeah, Alhamdulillah. So having said that, how do we want to create an impact in the field of Islamic finance and Islamic fintech? It's a very simple understanding. We feel that we should create an impact in this 100 year, which is going to happen in that is the next this century of the financial revolution. So we look forward to create an hybrid Islamic neobanking platform, which integrates all global markets under one platform. That is, you're talking about stock markets, commodity markets, currency markets, crypto markets, real estate, and any form of bonds and any form of investment vehicles online, which is separate, everything under one platform and one roof, and allowing us to basically build on the concept of asset tokenization. That is, anything and everything in this will be asset backed. Basically, the concept of barter system that was there initially, allowing you to have strength and build your wealth accordingly. And this will happen through in advanced technology called blockchain technology and crypto technology. The market of it is significantly huge based on references of Citibank, Boston Consulting Group, KPMG, Deloitte. All of them say that by 2030, the asset tokenization or the global Islamic finance or a fintech market would be somewhere around $6 trillion, inshallah. Now, brief outline what we're looking forward to do. We are the problem is there's no Web3 neo banking platform. There is no one platform for all products. Completely lack of Sharia compliance and huge gap, and nothing is ethical and nothing is dependable. It is fluctuative in nature. So we look forward to solve all that through our product. And what is the most important aspect of Zaria X, and what is the core and its bloodline is us launching our native digital currency called dinars. Dinar is basically reintroducing the concept of ancient monetary benefits. That is, wherein dinar will be backed by silver. 60% of dinar will be backed by silver and completely be Sharia compliant in nature. So this is completely in compliance with our Sharia board, where they had suggested and completely insisted that predominant amount of dinar should be backed by a real-time asset, and 40% of it only will be open for market value. How dinar works: dinar is basically, you can look at it like a token which allows you to a currency which allows you to token any form of physical assets. So gold, silver, stocks, bonds, commodities, currencies, anything can be tokenized through dinar. It is established in the blockchain ledger and in the digital world, and you can trade on it. So the value of dinar fluctuates or depends upon the value of assets it's tokenizing. So the amount of assets which we tokenize directly gives the proportionate value of dinar in the market. How dinar is stable compared to the question which was asked was like what FTX did. Dinar builds stability by providing multiple segments to it. That is, first thing, we will be looking for to tokenize real estates. We're looking forward to tokenize commodities, gold and silver, name it crude or aluminum, copper, zinc, anything which can be physically tangible. We look forward to tokenize that. By default, dinar is already pegged with silver, so that is giving it stability. Tokenizing of stocks, bonds, and currencies, allowing you to be able to have a different layer of tokenization into the stock markets as well, bond markets as well, currency markets as well, bringing huge amount of liquidity. So this builds stability to dinar. So we will create individual stable tokens under dinar, which will be pegged or which will be deposited under our trust wallet, allowing us to give you dinar against it, which gives stability to the prices of dinar. What can dinar do? Dinar can allow you to perpetually swap. That is one of a kind which has never happened in the field of Islamic finance or fintech, where you can swap digitally between various assets. If you have currencies, you can swap it for real estate. If you have real estate, you can swap it for crypto. If you have crypto, you can swap it for gold or sukuk. If you have sukuk, you can swap it for any other form of stocks and commodities. So we will be looking forward to integrate all platforms in a Sharia compliant manner, where you can own either fraction of it or completely and swap between it, allowing you to have benefit of end-to-end Islamic investment vehicles in one platform. And not only that, you can encash it in any ATM through your debit card. a brief of our offerings which we'll be giving in our platforms in the next couple of years in different phases. But this is just rough outline of what we're offering: exchange, native currency, crypto fund house, zakat tech, banking as a service, halal NFT metaverse, awqaf and real estate, wallets, bonds, sukuk, Zpay. Like how we have Google Pay, we look forward to be integrating Zpay, where once you do KYC in our platform, you can transact money any part of the world. E-commerce, tourism, insurance and takaful, corporate account, gifting, decentralized exchange, and various other offerings. Something which we have achieved before our main launch itself is we have been able to integrate with a company called Islamic Shop, where we have merged with them. They have been in the market for more than 10 years with 4.1 million users, and they have delivered in more than 75 plus countries. So they are ready to integrate their payment gateway with Zaria X, wherein they will be doing payments that is paid through crypto, that is paid through Zaria X, that is dinar. So this allows us to build utility around dinar. This allows us to build use case, and this allows us to the push or to diversify or to be able to integrate dinar into the markets, building more stability, more utility, and increasing the value of dinar. Which, as I mentioned, Zaria X wallet, it is Zpay, and our native wallet will be there, allowing you to encash any form of cryptocurrency in any part of the world through an ATM, or go to the supermarket and use it like a normal debit card. Something which is purely conceptual and something which came to us very recently, purely subject to Sharia approval. We very recently thought that why don't we create a Sharia compliant ethical gaming platform where a happy and fun loving ecosystem can be built, where you can learn how to build wealth, and you can actually build wealth in the halal way, where you can own digital real-time assets and you can trade between them, you can own them, and you can build your portfolio. Now this is in conceptual stage. Inshallah, subject to Sharia approval, we'll be looking forward to launch this soon. Inshallah, the development of this will take hardly around 8 to 10 weeks once we get the Sharia approval to the details of it, inshallah. And this is the rough demo of a platform, completely set to go live, and can do end-to-end transactions. It has all the latest facilities and encryptions and security protocols involved in it. There'll be 3 phases of Zaria X, that is phase 1, phase 0, phase 1, and phase 2. In phase 0, we look forward to launch our banking as a service platform, wallet, e-commerce, the swapping of dinar for any form of commodity or any form of digital asset like gold or silver or any stocks or anything which can be tokenized, and a conceptual version of ethical gaming if it is approved, inshallah. Now, coming to the most important aspect, how are we going to establish dinar in the market, and how are we going to build utility around it, and how are we going to create a value for it? The total supply of dinar is around 40 billion tokens at the moment, and we are issuing only 1% in the first phase. We have totally 3 phases, so we'll be issuing only 1% in the first phase, that is 400 million, and that will be segmented into 3 halves: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, wherein in phase 1, we'll be allocating 250 million tokens for a launch price of $0.004. That is around 33 paise in INR. And this is something which will be live only for 4 weeks. And then we'll be looking forward for phase 2 and phase 3, where the value of dinar will be 0.008. And then in the phase 3, the value of dinar will be $0.01. So allowing the early investors, or allowing the people who have procured dinar early to make a significant gain, because once we are able to start tokenizing assets through dinar, it automatically increases and appreciates the value of our currency. What we are doing currently to our well-wishers and people who have been with us in the session, we are opening dinar for a private sale at a $0.0026 at 7 p.m. IST on the 20th of August, that is Tuesday. And this is something where people can go online, and if you can see our WhatsApp and Telegram groups, we have a complete layout and we have a complete video recording of how you can register in a platform and how you can purchase dinar. You can absolutely refer this to any of your well-wishers, and inshallah, we are absolutely sure that you can be a part of Zaria X, you can be a part of the growth of Zaria X, and also, inshallah, contribute towards the impact or towards the change in the field of Islamic finance and create an impact in the field of Islamic fintech and Islamic banking, inshallah, if possible in the future. What do we need from you? More than you being a part of our family in terms of owning dinar, we need your trust. We need you to be able to support us, and we need you to be able to motivate us to be able to achieve this huge vision. because to be able to establish ourselves in Islamic fintech, we need a community of users who believe in this concept and believe in this idea. And we are looking forward to at least have 1 lakh users or subscribers. We don't want you to just be a part of the platform and be a user. We would like you to be a part of our social media handles, part of our WhatsApp community or channel, or Telegram community and channel. And this will allow us to build strength. This will allow us to build validation, and this will allow various structural or well-established investment companies and funds to collaborate with us to be able to take this on a global platform. So this is where we need your support. We want you to be able to create an awareness within your friends and family, share it between all your well-wishers. Any questions, any doubts, we are absolutely transparent and available here to answer your questions. And inshallah, we look forward to build this through your support and initiative. And what we have been doing personally is every day we are trying to put videos in our WhatsApp and Telegram community about what achievements we have had, what failures we have had, what struggles we are going through, what problems we are going through, so that you can be a part of our journey and see how we are looking forward to achieve our vision to create an impact in the field of Islamic finance. Some of our achievements, just for you to understand, in the last 3 years, we, alhamdulillah, have been a recurring speaker in the field in Islamic Finance Conference in Doha, which is one of the premier events conducted under the auspice of the Prime Minister of Qatar himself. And we have been speaking there for the last 3 years. Alhamdulillah, in our social media, we have reached more than 1 million accounts in the last 3 weeks alone. From the time we have created our marketing, that is, as of today, it is 1.3 million. And we, alhamdulillah, were the first company to be inducted in Forbes in the field of Islamic fintech. And alhamdulillah, we have already 3 articles published in the field of Islamic finance and 1 article on a general topic. And alhamdulillah, this gives us a huge credibility and recognition in the global platform. We were invited to speak in the World Finance Council in Singapore. Money Control, which is India's largest finance app, alhamdulillah, we were able to speak there and also share our insight in the platform. This is a rough outline about our articles. You can go to in Google and you can type it, and inshallah you will get it. The article was written by our company, and alhamdulillah, we got good recognition there in Forbes and various other platforms in Traders Gurukul, Ventures Intelligence, and we were also invited to speak in Jitex and various other top forums in the world. And we got an opportunity to opportunity to interview various tech barons and billionaires who, alhamdulillah, guided us in terms of how to establish our business and how can we do better. A brief outline before we went into Zaria X, into the core of it, before we deep dive, we did a small soft launch last year in 2023 January, where alhamdulillah we have Sheikh Musliddin there, we have Brother Umar Suleiman there, we have Sheikh Munir there, and we have myself and our team, where we did a soft launch and we invited a team of 100 people, ulamas, economists, central bankers, and alhamdulillah we put this concept out there. We got their feedbacks, we got their criticisms, we got all the necessary concerns which we need to address, and alhamdulillah, after that only we decided that we will go with Zaria X. Alhamdulillah, after we started working in the field of Islamic fintech and finance, we were invited by various panels in India, that is in IIT, in MIASI, in Dubai events, and alhamdulillah in various colleges and investment pitch festivals, alhamdulillah. So this is a brief outline about what we are doing. Inshallah, on Tuesday, we are opening a private sale at a discounted price of 0.0026. And inshallah, whoever wants to be a part of this can join the event, inshallah, and be a part of it. It's open only for 24 hours. And if you don't want to be a part of the private sale, we will be more than happy if you can promote this and forward this to your friends and family. That is just awareness of Zaria X. And inshallah, in the next 1 year, if our digital milestones or if all our milestones are achieved, inshallah, we look forward to create a significant impact in the field of Islamic finance with the support of all of you, and inshallah with the guidance of our Sharia board and various other well-wishers. Jazakumullah khairan.